Hey sneak peekers, we're here in the heart of Austin at South by Southwest, and I'm gonna go interview some of the cast and crew of Surf Film Music. Let's go. You're good? Oh yeah, hi, nice to meet you. I'm with Sneak Peek Television. We're here at the University of Texas at Austin. So I just wanted to ask you a few questions if you're good with that. All right, cool. So I just wanted to ask, as you have appeared in previous films surfing alongside Jack, such as Thicker Than Water, what makes being a part of this documentary different?
Well, this is kind of a culmination of all of the projects that we've gotten to work on. Thicker Than Water, September Sessions. They're just these beautiful little journeys. Like September Sessions, for example, was this journey to these islands off the coast of Indonesia where we lived on a boat for 2 weeks and, passed around a guitar and watched Jack write songs, and to watch it all kind of come to culminate into what it is now is just so cool to have this little piece of it, right? Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. So surfing seems to always be like your backbone in life. It's kind of something you rely on. Like, what else was your backbone during the making of this documentary?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty wild. We always fall back on surfing. Like, surfing is like, it's the core of all of us, right? And I'm talking about Jack, about Emmett, Chris, like, we are always drawn back to the ocean, and that's kind of like our gathering place, and it's kind of gives us our answers, and it finds our path, and I don't know, it's just a beautiful thing. That's like the one thing that we all connect on, like, no matter what, and it really kind of shines in this film. It's like that's the loop, that's the full circle that always keeps us coming back,
All right. Jack attributes his friends as the driving force behind his projects. So how is your story shared in this documentary?
Yeah, that's a good one, man. Like, I started going to Hawaii when I was like 16, and Jack was we were both learning how to play guitar, right? And we'd always show up with like a new tune. I learned how to play the opening to this Metallica song, Oh no, teach me, man, teach me. And so we'd like bounce in like music back and forth, and then it turned into these like filming projects where we traveling to the Indonesian islands and making movies together and watching Jack's music grow. And I became such a fan of his music, I started making tapes of recordings that I would record on a mini disc. And I would give these tapes to people, and I actually gave one to Ben Harper. Okay. And then that started this like snowball of, next thing you know, he's recording an album, he's touring with Ben, and it's I don't know. I'm not gonna I'm not taking credit, but it's just like you help your friends, you lift your friends up along the way, right? And you're just spreading the word. Right, and so. All
right, well, thank you so much for answering some questions, and congratulations on the film. I can't wait to see it. Yeah, thank you, man. My name is Sam. We're here at the University of Texas at Austin. We're students. We're part of an organization called Sneak Peek Television. Is it all right if I ask y'all a few questions? Yeah? All right, cool. So y'all helped make the new song with Jack called Hold On to the Light. I think it's beautiful. How do you feel that this piece connects to the purpose of surf film music?
I mean, I think for this particular movie, because it's about family, it's about like his friends, like, I think Hold On to Light is such a positive message to the world, like, especially in these times. I think it reflects in so many beautiful ways that it's important not to lose hope, and also like he phrases in the songs about photography, like, I don't know, it's just like a very important message, I think, in the song, and you can feel that throughout the movie, yeah.
All right, thank you so much. How did you experiment with your usual sound to fit the style of this documentary?
It was very interesting, because like we usually play a bit different, but then it was cool to see how we would fit into Jack's world. And it was also for us like a new experience, and it was very cool. And we're so happy with the project, with the product that came out at the end.
Of course, yeah. What do you want the audience to feel from your music, specifically in this documentary?
It's always about emotions and about feelings, like honest feelings. And I think people are gonna really love it and like feel what we try to show them.
All right, so cool. And last question. So as y'all are both musicians, what do you hope aspiring artists and creators should take away from this documentary for future use?
I think take every day as a day of trying to be creative, even if it's like making a drawing, I don't know, a short video on Super 8. Just be creative, like, yeah, do stuff, create stuff, like, be present and keep the memories alive. I think that's something that we should like follow.
That's a great message.
Yeah, man.
All right. Thank you guys so much, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the film. So, thank you. Guys, nice to meet you. I'm Sam. I'm with Sneak Peek Television. We're students here at the University of Texas. So yeah, it's really nice to see y'all.
Yeah.
Is it all right if I ask y'all some questions?
Yeah, great.
All right, cool. So first one I have is, I'm a real fan of your music, of course, and it seems like people often find their own stories in your songs. So what do you hope people find for themselves in this documentary?
That's a great question. I think it's been like one of the struggles I've always had writing songs. Sometimes they feel so personal, I'm not sure how I'm going to put them out. And then I'll sometimes alter them a little bit before I put them out, because, you know, a lot of times it's like if I forget an anniversary or I forget to buy a Christmas present, I'll real quickly write I'll make up a song for her.
A makeup song.
Oh, makeup, yeah. A lot of the love songs are actually get out of the doghouse songs, you know, that's what they are. And then I just write them to make her laugh, and then at some point I decide to share them with people. And then when I hear other people say that it meant something in their life, or like it was like on a certain road trip they listened to a song a lot, I know exactly how that feels, because I have all my favorite musicians that, like for her, like Kim and I, when we were 18 years old, we went on this trip through like Arizona and all that. And I remember we made like this mixtape, and a lot of those songs, it was like the time we were first falling in love, and when I hear those songs, it takes me back to that moment, you know. And so I know what it feels like to have songs that are those memories, or like the soundtrack to your memories. And so whenever somebody tells me that my music is that for them, it's like it's pretty profound for me, because I know what that feels like, you know.
Yes.
Oh,
Was it? Back to his question.
No, you're right, and that's what
do you want
she
people to
keeps
get
me
out
on
of-
track.
No. What do you want people to get out of the film?
Well, I was going to finally get around to say it's a similar thing. The film's very personal, but what I hope that, you know, especially people your age kind of get out of it is we tried to include a lot of these like early projects that we did. There's one called Mr. Slater Goes to Work I did in college. It's like so bad, and when you see it, it's just like so goofy looking. But I wanted to show people you just got to jump in and try and start making stuff, and your first ones aren't going to be your masterpieces, you know what I mean? It's like you're going to learn how to get your exposures right and things like that, and you're going to learn like how to be comfortable doing what you're doing. Like you're doing an amazing job giving an interview, and yeah.
You just gotta jump in and start doing it.
You realize you can do it, you know what I mean? And it's like you keep taking those steps, and especially when you're with friends that you can kind of trust and forgive when somebody blows it. Like you're gonna find that somebody like didn't turn the camera on. Did you turn the camera on? And anyways, but if she didn't, you wouldn't get mad at her. You'd be like, it's okay, you know. It's like, so anyways, I hope people get that out of the film, is sort of seeing that just making stuff with friends is the way you start.
Super cool. Great answer. Thank you.
Thanks for giving me back.
Whenever you like make something such as like this documentary where you said we wouldn't be anywhere today without friends, and so how is friendship used to bond this documentary together?
Yeah, the cool thing is, I mean, so Kim and I are best friends. We've known each other since we were 18 years old, and Kim and myself and this guy over here talking, Emmett, we're all best friends still. And so it's not only like a film about friends making stuff, it's actually made by a bunch of friends, you know, and all the other guys that walked the red carpet before us, those are the same guys that were in the surf movies back in the late 90s with us. We're all still really close together, like we all get together as families, and we've had this bond, like I think from doing these projects together that made our friendship stronger. Not only was it friends getting to make stuff, it's like the projects actually made our friendship stronger. And what was the question again? I'm sorry. No, that's the idea. It's just
Friendship is like weaving the story together.
yeah, it weaves the story together, but it's actually made by friends. You know, it really is.
The same people that made the film are the ones. We're reflecting back on our life and together what we've done. And I think we've all been so busy, you know, the last 25 years, raising kids, putting records out, putting films out, that, you know, we're all getting busy with our own lives, that we realized when we came back together, kind of reflect on everything, you know, how it was rooted in friendship, and we're still there. And it was so fun doing this project together again.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. One fun little story. Both these guys right here. It's in the film, but there was a time where it was like I should have got a music manager, but instead they just read a book called How to Be a Music Manager, and they were just my two smartest
He would go to
friends.
the meetings and just pretend to be his manager because he didn't have a manager.
But he's the director of the film, but he was my fake manager, who's my real manager now with
Back from the
Kim.
meetings and ask me what I thought, and I'm like, well, I would do this.
All right,
But
well, let's move on
we're
for these guys.
faking it.
Let's go.
Fake it till you make
Yeah.
it.
Thank you guys so much, and I'm so excited to see it. All right, thank you. We're students.
Nice to meet
We're
you all.
at the University of Texas.
Incredible.
So, is it cool if I
All
ask
right.
you some questions?
Yeah, you guys.
Of course.
Way to get on the carpet here. I respect that. I did the same thing in college. That was like my grind, you know.
Yeah.
Just a smaller school, so I didn't get these kind of opportunities, you know.
After making so many films with Jack and you two sharing a record label together, so how is this like a part of your story shared in this documentary too?
God, that's a great question. I mean, certainly this one is unique for me because I'm in it. Like I had at some point had to like hand the camera to my friend and be like, ask me some questions along this line, and I had to turn around and actually deliver, and that was kind of awkward for me because I feel like I really feel comfortable behind the lens. That's kind of always on all aspects, even the music stuff. I'm a little bit more of like sounding board and and so that was very different for me. Like I also think for me, it's just this one was. You asked what was it? That
Your story,
I think what it's kind of all our story, in the sense of like I feel like this stuff, we didn't have phones and stuff when this thing went down, and so we kind of almost acted the same way. We were always trying to document everything. We were kind of these hungry young kids just wanting to make things and make art and do things, and so I feel like this is a lot of my story because I really feel like I literally carried the film rolls around for 25 years. The mini disc we recorded everything on, I would just constantly bring that stuff around with me going, I don't know, someday we may want to make a film of this story. And when we did, I ended up having all the goods to do it because we were tenacious with like making stuff and documenting life. And I don't know, when I watched this film, even though I like sat there and did the interviews, I never had to write down a question or because it was my part of my life. I didn't have to, normally I have to research and sit down, okay, I'm talking with Jack White, this is what I'm gonna be asking him, these are the topics. I didn't even ever have to prepare because I walked in going, I know every answer, I kind of know where I wanted to go. I know what stories to ask this guy because most of them I was there on the trips or right next to him when he wrote this particular song or out on the road with him shooting his shows as his career grew. I kind of did it all, and so this film was easy in that regard, but when you have no studio and you're not making a film with a deadline, it can also be really hard because you can really go on forever and ever and really feel like it'll never get done because you just think you could always find a better shot, a better moment, you could do something, and that was kind of this film was a really long journey, longer than any film I've ever worked on, which is kind of funny because you'd be like, yeah, this one, all the things I just said, I knew all the questions, but in the end, it really was a long journey because I think we pretended like it wasn't going to be a film the whole time. Mr. Modest over there doesn't really, he's like, why would anybody want to watch a film on me, And you're like, I had to kind of play that game a little bit with myself and him, thinking, let's just make stuff. And we'll see where it goes. And when you're kind of cruising like that, it can be a long journey.
Hey, very cool, very cool. You obviously love music. You talked about your experience directing music videos, such. So how in this documentary do you translate Jack's music into the film?
Yeah, it's a cool question. Well, I think, the film has this, it's his music almost wall to wall, which is normally like a really challenging thing to pull off. Maybe at times you'd be like, I'm a little sick, let's try, something else. Or I think this one, what is so cool is that I feel because we were always documenting things, we were always putting mini disc players down with hidden mics, and we kind of captured how he wrote some of his most iconic songs. And you get to see literally that he went on a trip and he saw this, that, and put it into a song and created a song that I then watched land on a record, go tour around the world in front of audiences, tens of thousands of people all over the world singing along to this one song that we kind of saw in this film, like how he wrote it, what inspired him to write it, how he developed it. And so I think that's what I love almost most about the film, because I love music, and if you gave me my favorite artist and got to show me a film that really showed you the details of how he wrote some of his biggest songs, I'd be all in. I'd be like, that's my favorite film ever on that particular artist. And so I really hope that's what can be, what everybody will enjoy about this, is like, it really gets into the granular with how he sort of got his confidence as a songwriter. And, you know, now he is who he is. And so it's fun to be able to go back and like show that to people. And that's only because we were out just trying to make stuff. We were out, we didn't even know what we were really trying to make, but we were like, we're making something and we'll figure it out as we go. And I think that's kind of like, gave me a lot to work with to tell this story.
All right, last question. So you obviously have given us a ton of advice, a ton of great advice. So do you have any more advice for future filmmakers or future creators like myself who aspire to be in an industry such as yours?
Yeah, I mean, I would say like surround yourself with inspirational friends and just go make shit, you know, like really get out there, make stuff and make art for art's sake. You know, we didn't make any of this to be anything or achieve anything. We just wanted to make a cool surf film that was kind of reminiscent of the films we grew up on, and we had to go on a little journey to achieve that, but we just went and did it. We didn't know how, we didn't have any manual, and the same thing goes for Jack and his music career. I don't know how to manage, I never did, but we knew kind of we wanted to inspire one another, take care of one another, and we just went and did it. And it's just more, hopefully, a positive message to be like, just do that. I mean, look, shit, if it happened for us, it could happen to anybody, you know? And I think that's kind of the thing. And also, make positive stuff. You know, I love that this movie stands for, it has a real positive message in a world where I feel like most everything I watch right now is pretty dramatic. And I love that this is a positive-natured film. And so I'd also say that, but advice, just go make stuff, have fun, get at it, and do it for yourself. And then the results will come in whatever way they manifest, in whatever way you know your particular story sort of unfolds.
Of course. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Guys, good luck.
Thank you. And I can't wait to watch the film, man. It's going to be great. I'm going to watch it. Yeah.
All right, we'll talk after.
Of course. Thank you. See you. Thanks for watching Sneak Peekers. And for more South by coverage, click here.